Welcome to Brother, Sister, Whatever, where real talk meets zero chill. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Josh. Subscribe so you don't miss the chaos, and let's dive in.
Okay, today we're going to dive into what it means to be an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert, breaking down the stereotypes and exploring how our social batteries really work.
Oh boy.
So, what do you think introvert, extrovert means? Like, what's your definition of it?
Oh, this is, I'm really not good at this stuff. So I think introvert means like I'm more to myself. Extrovert is like I'm more open. That's all I know.
Okay. Well, you're right. That's the overall picture of it. But recently, I discovered that there's actually like a middle ground,
Oh,
which is an ambivert
okay.
or an omnivert. And I'll tell you what the difference is between the two. Because ambivert is like a balanced mix of both introvert and extrovert.
Okay.
Okay, so kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
And an omnivert is somebody that can drastically change whatever their main one is, can drastically change between the two.
Oh shit. Okay. That would be me.
Almost so that it's like one would look at that person and be like, that's a personality change completely, the way they're acting right now.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's kind of how I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it depends on who I'm with.
Like, what would you call yourself? An introvert or an extrovert?
If I only had those choices?
Yeah.
If I only had those choices, I think I've always considered myself introvert,
Okay.
where I'm just kind of like more to myself. But I think people in my personal life might say yes. I think people who see me on the outside, I think they would be like, what? Like, no, Josh is not introvert at all.
Nothing
know?
in life is black and white, right? You always have to have a gray section. So
That's
it
true.
makes sense. Have you always felt like you were an introvert?
No, more as I got older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So when you were a kid, you were more like extroverted.
for sure.
But it's all about what makes you feel energized inside.
Okay.
And so whether that's quiet, solitude, being alone makes you feel more energized, or being around people
Makes you energized.
makes you energized. So it's all about the energy level within yourself that determines which part of the scale you're on.
Interesting.
Right?
Fact. Yeah.
It's more in what makes you feel good
Right.
in your environment. What makes you feel the most relaxed / energized in your environment. So I always thought that I was an introvert, but I really loved just being alone, reading book or, quiet, just being in the quiet. But now that I'm aware that there's an ambivert and an omnivert, I could say in some ways that I'm an ambivert. I'm able to kind of have a balance between the two. I think I'm like in the middle. But I still truly feel energized being alone, in solitude,
But
quiet.
yeah, and I love it too. And I can spend hours just on my own. And yeah, I guess technically that would make me more introvert than anything else. But also, don't you think that it has something to do with who your circle is?
Who you're choosing to spend time with?
Yeah,
If it's and what personality type they are, or just in general.
just in general. I mean, because the way I look at it is like, if we're saying that this brings us joy, let's say, but also we're saying like, oh yeah, being out or with people like this doesn't interest me, could there also be an argument that it might also have to do with the people we're hanging out with? Because I can see the reason why I go into this, what you were saying about, I didn't even know it existed there, the omnivert there, is because I have a couple people where when I'm with them, it's like I could be crazy, you know?
Okay.
I don't mean crazy like stupid, you know? I just mean like crazy, you know, like laughing, fucking like, you know, on the whole opposite spectrum of what I would normally. And then others, it's like, you know, I'm sitting down and it's like, yeah, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
like completely the other side of the
Like you could sit in silence and watch something, or even just sit in silence sometimes, like have that few minutes of
with
just with
people.
people, yeah, and just
Yeah,
sit in silence. Well, that to me that would be an ambivert.
maybe, but it
That you
could it
kind of
could be
you can.
extreme, right?
Okay, so for you, you feel like it's more extreme.
Well, I think it's extreme because I'll have people say, "Why are you so quiet?" You know, like what's wrong? Are you okay? I get that all. What's wrong? Are you
Okay,
okay?
so
And
depending on
then
the person that you're with.
yeah, and then with other people, they're like, "Damn!" They're like, "I had no idea you were so crazy." And or it depends on if it's something new or something not new.
Like what?
Like if I go to a new restaurant that I've never been there before,
Hmm.
and I'm with half of the people I've never met before, I'm automatically going to be more introverted.
Mm.
Versus if I go with a group of people that I'm used to, it's a restaurant where like I know the waiters and whatever, I might be on the other spectrum.
Hmm.
And if I'm with my kids, I'm always in introvert mode. I just feel like I'm more chill and like everything is supposed to be relaxed, you know, and calm.
Huh. I wonder if everybody kind of experiences the full spectrum,
Yeah.
and if that even if it's not even so much as like a global thing, but maybe like okay, with certain people or certain times in their lives, like ages. You know what I mean?
That's it. Like, what if you're thinking of someone and you're saying, oh no, this person is for sure introverted. But then what if they're only like that with you? So then what does that mean? Are they introverted or are they not introverted?
Are they
Like,
meeting your vibe or are you meeting theirs?
well, that's it. And then what
Huh.
is that? What does that mean? Is that ambivert, where it's in between, where
Yeah.
you kind of pick up on the volume of where you're at? But what
Right.
if you're like? I think that that could also have to do with like where they are, who they're with, um, how much they've been drinking,
True.
right? Like all of
True.
those things kind of play a role. Confusing. I would say that as I'm getting older,
Yeah.
I'm noticing like you know I just want peace.
Mellow.
Yeah. Like I went on a vacation recently and I think 99% of the time I was relaxing. Versus that would
Mm.
never be me when I was younger. I'd be like, "Hey, I want to do something. Like I
It's
don't want to
true.
just sit here,
It's
you know,
true.
and like look at the water like
But it's so okay. But yeah, it's just it's funny how circumstances, alcohol, people, the different kinds of people that you ages, everything just changes the vibe that you put out in terms of personality and how you react to people and what makes you happiest. It's just
yeah.
interesting. I find it very interesting. So now we're going to ask the weekly what if question because it's very much directly associated to today's topic. So, what if everyone had to wear a visible meter showing their social battery level? How would that change social interactions?
Whoa. Well, I think it would change things a lot.
You think?
Yeah. But I'm kind of surprised actually now that I think of it that there isn't like that doesn't exist on like Facebook, you know, like introvert, extrovert, or you know, like think
It's
about it, it's
true.
true, you know, like watch it be created now. Someone's listening to us. I mean, it's like anything really, right? Like in the sense of when you know more than you normally would about the stranger, you automatically, you know, like I don't know what to say, you know, like so for example, if I meet someone and I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" and "Oh, okay, your bracelet," you know, and it says you're introvert, you know? And when you say like battery, do you mean like it shows how much energy they have? like right now, like I'm at a one, like a fit 20%. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to talk to this person. This person has no energy right now. Yeah, I mean that would obviously, usually you find that out in a few moments after talking to the person.
Right.
Right.
So that would
Like,
kind of
hey, my name's
preemptively.
Lisa. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. It's like, okay. Their battery level is pretty low.
Yeah.
Right? It might explain a few things though. So, meaning when you get that reaction, instead of maybe taking it personal, you might say, "Oh, well, okay, look, see the battery level?"
That's a good point.
So,
Didn't think of that. I think there's assholes everywhere. They don't give a shit about your social battery level. Ever. They're coming with their own
yeah, for
stuff,
sure.
right?
For sure.
What?
Now imagine if it showed a list of everyone's boundaries.
Oh.
There's a bracelet with all the boundaries there, digital, boop, pops up like this, and it's just like, okay, these are all the boundaries.
Wow.
Imagine that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's some people that would not respect the boundary of the introvert, extrovert scenario,
Yeah.
and they, yeah, sure, I'm sure people would take advantage to a degree, or just not bother with you.
So what is one of the biggest myths about introverts? That they're not leadership material.
Oh, really? Is this fact?
Yeah, that they lack social skills.
Really?
Yeah. That they're unfriendly, that they don't have fun.
That they're unfriendly?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, now, did you know some of the more popular introverts in the world? I'll give you a few.
Oh, okay.
Can you guess off the top of your head what you think?
Like, we're talking like massive celebrities?
Celebrities or public
Elon
figures.
Musk, 100%.
Definitely, yes.
Bill Gates, 100%.
Yes, you got 2 out of 3.
And then Warren Buffett, 100%.
Yeah, but that wasn't on my list. Do you know who's on my list? Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All famous introverts.
Yeah.
But look at what they've managed to accomplish.
Yeah.
So not leadership material?
Not true.
Not true.
No.
Definitely. Just looking at that list.
Yeah. I mean, even
debunks
though...
that. Okay, so now what about extroverts? When you think of an extrovert, you think life of the party, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So like, all those rock and rollers.
You have to have some form of extrovert in you to be able to go out and do that every day, like day in, day out, right?
For sure. Like
Put on a show.
Ariana Grande, 100% is an extrovert. She has.
Do you think that extroverts are always on?
No, I don't think so. I think there's...
I think everybody has to have a downtime.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think extroverts do for downtime?
No, go like skydiving or something. I don't know.
Well, think about it. Like reading a book. Reading a book is like, or taking a walk, a solo walk, right? Those are things that are not necessarily only in an introvert.
True.
Act, right?
True.
Would an ambivert be the most balanced? Or technically, are all of them have their own balance in their own way?
Way over my head. Yeah.
Right? It's like a thought-provoking thing, though. Like, where does one start and the other begin, kind of thing?
I don't know.
Or is it all tied in?
Or is it have nothing to do with your personality?
Or has nothing to do with your personality? It's hard to believe, though, that your actions and some of the things that you deliberately do and say would not have something to do with your personality type. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When was this word created?
What,
I know
introvert?
I know that sounds maybe funny, but like, is this a new thing? Or has this always been like our great-great-grandparents talked about introvert and extrovert? Ancient Greek physicians
There you go.
proposed temperaments based on bodily humors that loosely corresponded to introversion and extroversion. So while the specific term introvert and extrovert became widely recognized in the early 20th century, the underlying ideas have been around for centuries in different forms.
In different forms. Wow. Okay, quick fire opinions. Workplace stereotypes. Are extroverts better leaders? We've already discussed that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that extroverts make better leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Yeah.
Dating and friendship. Is it easier for extroverts to form connections?
Oh boy.
I'm going to say no.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think everybody forms connections in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's exclusive to extroverts. Like, are people too quick to label themselves introverts or extroverts? I don't know if it's too quick. I don't think it's too quick. I think you know yourself.
I don't even think about those terms. So for me,
It's not like you're going through your day-to-day thing saying, I'm an introvert. And,
right.
you know,
it.
like, no.
Yeah.
But you do know what kind of a personality style. Well, you said it.
Yeah, I think I'm omni.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Still confusing.
I know. Again, introvert, extrovert is very clear and defined. But then the omnivert and the ambivert, you're like, okay, but like, what if I like this? And like, what does it put me? You know, like, I think maybe now we're putting too much pressure on labeling ourselves. Personality tests. Do you think they're helpful? Or do you think it's like pseudoscience?
I don't know.
I think they can be fun. Certain ones, obviously, can be fun. I like knowing what makes me tick. Now I understand myself better almost. I don't know. I find that kind of thing nice. Okay, can you train yourself to be more extroverted or more introverted?
Probably.
But what do you think would be easier? If you were an extrovert, training yourself to be more introverted, or if you were an introvert, training yourself to be more extroverted?
I don't know.
I think it would be easier if you were an extrovert, training yourself to be more introverted.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right?
Yeah, it makes sense that would probably be easier, actually, now that I think of it. It would be easier because you don't have to put yourself out there like the introvert would have to, you know, in that sense.
Yes.
I think that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, one last question though. What if you're married to a person or in a relationship, or even better, if your children have different personality types than you? How do you think you can handle that?
Well,
or how would you handle it?
I think my kids do. And, you know, it's about making sure that you understand that, you know, they're not supposed to be you.
Yeah.
And you know, I try to accommodate whatever they're doing or feeling or whatever, you know? So if one is more introverted, I try to help that one focus on, you know, whatever that might entail.
That they love, for
example. That they love, you know, and then the one who's the opposite, I'll, you know?
So let's say you're more introverted like myself, and your kids want to have play dates because they're extroverted. And they always want to have other kids over. How do you deal with that kind of a thing?
I do it.
You do it? Does it drive you nuts?
A little.
Yeah.
A little.
So you just put up with it?
For sure.
How do you recharge afterwards?
You know, then I'm alone. I go to bed at 8, you know, or whatever.
There you go, eh?
But I think it's important that they have their things.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess it's the same thing as work, right? Like you said, okay, you owning your own business, you have to have kind of like a shift in, you're meeting them where they are, so to speak.
Exactly.
And so the same kind of thing applies like at work.
Yeah.
And then you just go home and recharge the way you need to recharge so you have a higher social level.
That's
your battery is charged up for the next day, right?
That's it. That's it. You have no choice.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today, everybody. If you like this, please hit like and subscribe. New episodes drop every Thursday.
Drop your hot take in the comments. We want to hear it. See you next time on Brother, Sister, whatever.
Bye.
Bye.